ones that everyone's wondering about. But so we've had 16 homicides this year, and I know that this puts you on the spot because it's hard to say, but do you have any of those? Can you tell us about clearance of those or where they're at? How do we explain that?
You know, an ever-changing number,
Yeah.
and we're running at about 60% so far this year, but obviously with only 16 homicides, if you make an arrest in one of those 16, your clearance rate is going to jump 6 or 7%, right, just from that one case. So it's a terrible stat to report on a day-by-day basis. But right now the clearance is at about 60%. I know a couple of the outstanding ones are very promising to be resolved, and no doubt that number will change.
What was the number last year?
96.
Yeah, but there was just so many different kinds of cases, so many challenges, and then you had crossover cases from the years previous that were really the ones that dominated the news. So, I mean, you and your team must have been really, really exhausted, and yet every time I see you or anybody from Homicide, you seem to get up and you seem to just keep on going.
You know, and Gary was rather infamous for that. And it's a bit of a shock to new people in the office. And I can tell you, I remember very clearly my longest run where I usually get up at about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. So I was up at about 4:30 or 5 o'clock on a Friday morning. I came into work, worked all day, went home, and then just as I'm going to bed, the phone rings about 9, 10 o'clock at night. And off to Scarborough we go to investigate a murder. And I didn't get home again till Sunday night. So people say, okay, so that's 48 hours from Friday night till Sunday night. No, take into consideration the 12 hours before then as well. 12, 15
No
hours
sleep.
that you've already been up. No sleep. It was nonstop. And again, it's adrenaline fueled and coffee fueled, where you get to the point where you can only drink so much coffee and it only does so much for you. But it was just nonstop movement and action and work. And, you know, we had an address for where our suspect was, and so you're typing the warrants for that address, and then you're trying to get everything into place for that. And it was literally Sunday night by the time I got home. So, and I'm not saying we do that on every murder, but it's certainly not uncommon at all to get that phone call at 7 or 8 o'clock at night after you've already worked all day. You're definitely going to be going through that night and through the following day, and if you're lucky, you'll be getting home that following day in the evening.